2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 tomatoes here.
Wow.
At the top of the hill, I planted a bunch of different squashes, but only one of them sprouted. Although,
What are these?
look at this. This is a weed.
I have something like that growing in my yard, and I wanted to know what it was.
I might let these go to flower and see what they look like.
Yeah, it's like a really pretty bush now. It's like the size of my squash plants, but
Yeah. But over here, look at this. Do you think this is a squash? Like this here? Because Matthew planted...
this is not a squash.
No?
No.
So then like this isn't either? I don't know. This looks like something to me. So I'm going to leave that because Matthew like sprinkled... Oh, sorry.
I mean, it might be a type of one, but it looks more like a vine weed.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
I mean, there's quite a bit of it. But Matthew's... So we had a bunch of loose seeds. So Matthew sprinkled a bunch of them just like across this hill.
Yes, my gut says it's not, but I also don't know
Yeah.
a lot about it, so...
But then we've got some carrots grown in the center here.
This might be.
No, that's definitely weed. I know that weed.
Weed?
That's
Okay.
thistle.
Oh, okay.
But see that little squash up there
Yeah.
growing?
What type is that?
I don't remember. It's on my chart.
I gave him a blackberry once.
a
He
little one.
didn't like it.
You want one? Do you want a raspberry?
Unsure.
Can we eat together? Is it good?
Wow. Look how dense this plant is. It's amazing. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this video. I am at my sister Holly's house. We are visiting home. She's showing me around her garden, and I'm going to ask her some gardening questions. I want to eat more berries first.
I'm going to eat more berries first. There's a whole bunch of here. There was one year we got 5 gallons off of this.
Oh my gosh.
But now that I've got the kids and they all know where they are and how to pick them, we never get to store any.
Yes.
The kids come out here every morning when it's ripe, and that's their first thing they do is they come out here and they just sit here and eat berries. And it's really nice because when I'm weeding, it keeps Naomi preoccupied finding berries,
Yes.
and she loves it, and it's a good, healthy snack for her.
Yeah. I love that. What interested you in gardening in the first place? Like,
Self-sufficiency.
yeah.
I wanted to grow my own food. But then there's something about seeing that seed finally pop up that's so exciting. And then the anticipation of the fruit and finally getting that fruit and then all the ideas of what you can do with it. Yeah. And even the weeding, if you don't look at it like it has to be something that's done, you know, where it's a chore, because that can be overwhelming. And I just look at it as a way to get my hands in the dirt. And so that you'll always see weeds.
Yes.
And that's okay, but I love coming out here in the morning with my coffee, and it's kind of like, I don't know, for me it's therapeutic. It's like when I'm on the beach and I'm looking for seashells, like it's productive because you're looking for something pretty, right? But it's not necessary, so you don't feel like stressed doing it, and you can just kind of zone out and do that tedious looking for it. And same thing with weeds, it's just that like tedious zone out, get your hands in the dirt, be in nature, fresh air.
Yeah, and you got it mulched too, so not a whole lot of weeding to do. Yeah. I mulched with straw. I got 3 bales of straw before we left town and mulched my garden, and that wasn't enough
You
mulch.
like those berries, you want more, huh?
Is this mint?
This is a Chinese mint. See how the leaves are a little bit more pointy and jagged?
Yeah.
This is our cucumber bed. I don't remember the varieties, but someone gave these to me. These are 2 different varieties, and then those are a variety we did from seed.
Cool.
That's rue, which is a medicinal herb.
Cool.
And then
What do you use it for?
it's for muscle aches, pains, and arthritis, actually.
Interesting.
And peppermint is really good for stomach aches.
Yes.
So we've got lots of peppermint.
Oh, the thyme that I got from you?
Yeah.
I think the dogs peed on it a couple too many times and scorched it. Like they peed on it and then the sun came out and it burned them up because they were completely brown when I got home.
This is the time I planted from that same set. So here we have lilies, some thyme, and then I've got some flowers growing here that we're trying to grow.
So what was your first gardening experience?
My first gardening experience is much like yours. It's when I was a military wife living in North Carolina with that sandy soil. And we had a nice fenced-in yard. And we did this little garden. It was probably like half the size of the rock garden area over here. And we grew it right up against the fence. And I grew lettuce and mustard greens and, no, not lettuce, it was mustard greens and cucumbers. And those were really the only two things that actually did well. And I remember we ate a ton of cucumbers. It was the best success I've ever had to this day with cucumbers. Still, like, I'm excited about these ones because they actually look good, but I've never had success with cucumbers since that year. And we gave so many of the cucumbers away because we couldn't eat them all. And then I remember going, why did I plant mustard greens? I don't even know how to cook these.
Yep.
And my neighbor, actually, they love mustard greens, so they harvested all of those. And
How did they
ate
use them?
I don't remember.
I'm growing those too. I'm like, I don't know.
Now I know how to cook them. So you saute them. Like
Oh,
a green. You can
okay.
saute them with like onions and stuff like that. Or,
Kind of like you cook spinach. You wouldn't eat it raw like spinach though, right?
yeah, or like collard greens.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm
cook
one
them
of
in
my.
bacon grease. Put some bacon with them.
When we first moved to North Carolina, our neighbors across the street, she's really into gardening too, but we started to keep in touch and she gave me seeds from someone that was saving them for 40 years.
Wow.
And they'd been in her freezer for 12 years or something like that. And she
Mustard
gave me some,
greens?
yeah, and some of them came up and they're still there.
Nice.
But I've tried growing those too and they just get eaten up really quick because they're like a tender green that bugs like to eat.
Yeah.
So who do you go to when you need gardening advice?
Pinterest.
Yes. I thought you were gonna like say something super sweet, like, "Oh, Leanne, my favorite sister."
No. No, seriously, I've got probably 300 pins and various Pinterest boards specifically about gardening.
Yep.
I love companion planting and the permaculture style of gardening.
Mm-hmm.
So like in this bed, I've got carrots and onions because onions deter carrot flies.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then over here, I have a basil and oregano planted by most of my tomatoes because
Yeah, their tomatoes look awesome.
Not only do tomatoes help to make basil more fragrant and flavorful, but basil makes tomatoes sweeter
Interesting.
and it deters a lot of the pests that hurt tomatoes. So there's lots of different like companion plantings that you can do
Yes.
that help with organic gardening, and that kind of stuff just really fascinates me.
Same.
So pumpkin and watermelon. And then I also planted some basil and oregano over here for the same reason.
Those are the watermelon and those are the pumpkins?
Yep. And then there's a row of herbs here to help deter pests.
Nice.
And then I started doing just like layering of compost over here in this bed that was empty, but we had a lot of extra tomatoes, so I just threw them in there with the compost and said, if they grow, they grow.
Nice. Sorry, I was zoned out in the garden and you were talking so fast I did not know what you just said. It's on camera though, so I can look back. I'm like, it's so pretty. I'm not listening. Okay. What tools can you absolutely not do without in the garden?
Wood chips.
Wood chips.
Gotta have wood chips, a shovel, and a bucket. I mean, you can have a wheelbarrow, bucket, tour. But that's really most of what we use is wood chips and a shovel.
Yeah.
And we had all of this stone. There used to be a barn over here, and it fell down years before we moved in. But there's all of this stone all over the property. So we've just, that's what we had on hand to make raised beds. And
I really like it too.
yeah, I want to build it up. So we're slowly building it up because I'd like it to all be level
Uh-huh.
and have it so that I can just keep adding dirt in and building it up.
Yeah.
So like after this year, we'll probably do for our fall prep, we'll do a lot of more layers of maybe do like another layer of dirt and like leaves and then put wood chips on top of that So hopefully we'll build it up like 6 inches this fall. And then
Did you ever get a chip drop?
we did.
You got chip drop?
Mhm.
Do you want to tell them what chip drop is? I don't think I've talked about chip drop before.
Chip Drop is a website that you can sign up to. It's basically a website to help affiliate gardeners with arborists, people who are cutting down trees, trimming trees, and they've got wood chippers and they don't know where to dump their chips. So there are places that buy chips now though, so it's kind of harder to
Yeah.
get them. But the Chip Drop is helpful because normally the places that buy chips, they want specific kinds or they want cleaner chips. And what you, for your garden, you actually don't want clean chips. You want ones that have the leaves mixed in with it because it balances out the pH.
Yeah, that makes sense. How do they clean?
It's not that they clean the wood chips, it's that there's...
They just make sure they don't chip anything else with it.
Yeah, so like there's a difference between like chipping one of the branches that has a ton of leaves and the branch.
Yeah.
So the places that buy the chips, they want like chipped branches, you know? But then for your garden, you want it where they're taking fresh branches full of leaves and chipping the whole thing. Like
Okay.
leaves and everything. Hey, get out of there. Do you have any tips for keeping cats out of the garden?
Nope, sure don't. I'll learn them though, because I'm going to be getting a
My
kitten in a
poor
couple
tomatoes
weeks.
that I was waiting for you for.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. I didn't water them.
No, that happened to me too. I had some extra tomatoes in my greenhouse, and when I came to visit a couple of months ago, I came back and they were crispy.
20 over there, 13 over here.
That's a lot.
So how many is that?
33.
I thought
Awesome.
it was 37.
I think I have about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My celebrities that I got from you, I don't know how to prune them properly. I think the airflow was not very good, and they've got some disease on them. They're still giving me tomatoes, so I'm just...
Do you keep the leaves off the ground?
I haven't been very good about it. I put them in a spot that makes it hard. I put them up against the fence,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get all the way around them, so I'm not going to do that next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've got a good thing to talk about with the tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so these tomatoes, just to show a little bit of a difference, this whole row is from the same set of tomatoes. There are different varieties within here, but those ones we planted only 5 days after these ones. And you see, these ones are almost twice as big.
Yeah, that's
so it's
crazy.
amazing. The longer you keep your tomato plants in the plastic, the more you're going to stunt their growth.
Yeah.
But what I put in the ground with my tomatoes is we always get extra eggs. And so with each of these tomatoes, we've got a handful of organic fertilizer, bone meal, 2 aspirin tablets. The aspirin helps to deter
Pests.
not pests, different diseases.
Interesting.
Yes, so that could be something that you try for next year.
Yeah.
And then we either get fish and put a fish in the ground with it, but this year we didn't have time for that, so I just got the fish fertilizer and poured like a half a cup with each one. And did I say the egg?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
You said you get extra eggs.
Yeah, extra eggs so that we could put an egg in the ground, fish fertilizer, bone meal, fertilizer, and 2 aspirin in the ground with every tomato. And we will prune our tomato up until the top 3 leaves and plant all of the stem in the ground.
So the aspirin, that mimics the tomato, like it makes the tomato think that it's getting attacked. So then it starts to prepare for an attack.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. And I think that's why.
I thought it was because of what was in aspirin.
Yeah. Like the aspirin makes the tomato feel like it's got to like defend itself, I think. I could be wrong about that.
Actually, well, I might have read it years ago, but I don't remember what the reason was. I just remember that the aspirin helped with the disease issues.
That's super cool. Yeah, I'll have to
I
to double check that, but I think that's why.
I haven't had many issues with my tomatoes getting diseased, and we've always done the aspirin.
Yeah,
We've
I'm
never
gonna
used
totally try
aspirin
that.
for ourselves, but
I
I use
know.
it for my tomatoes.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm excited I'm gonna try that. I wonder if you could make like you know how people do like a baking soda powder? I wonder if you could crush aspirin if you already have a disease problem and like spray it on there. I'm gonna look that up because I know another gardener that has some spots on her tomatoes.
Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 jalapenos, plus the 7 over
You
there.
got a banana pepper growing right there.
These are sweet banana peppers. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus the 10 over there. So it's 23, 23 sweet banana peppers, 33 tomatoes.
Oh, you got some tomatoes on that one inside there. I
They're
just
not
saw
ready
it.
yet, though. So
Yeah.
I just pruned these.
Those are
where they
Romos.
were all of the leaves off the ground, and they're already here.
That's happy yelling.
And then this side, I'm very excited about because I had a whole bunch of seeds in the bottom of my seed bin that had fallen out of their envelopes.
Peas.
And we just threw them here. So I think that this is arugula.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know?
No idea. I've not ever grown
Well,
arugula.
it's either arugula or radish.
This
And then
looks like a type of brassica. I don't know if that's like a cut
it
leaf
very well could be.
or
Yeah,
spinach.
there's a lot of peas.
Plantain.
I planted beans and I'm not seeing any beets.
Beans? I see sweet peas. That's the only thing that I identified.
So I'm excited to see what all will pop up. Looks like there's a beet over here. And then there's more of that. I'm not sure what it
I'm
is.
excited to try beets again because none of the ones that I grew did anything really. I mean,
Here's a
they
sweet
didn't
banana
bulb up.
pepper.
Ooh, do you think that's ready?
I think so.
Ooh. Can I pick it?
Yeah. And
Here's your orchard. We have peaches and pears, right?
then look at all the beets I planted right here.
All the what?
Beets.
Beets. Is that all the red stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool.
And then I planted beans here, but those didn't sprout.
Hmm. Are these wood chips from your chip drops right here? Cool.
Yeah, they're pine ones.
I put in a request for a drop and I got an email saying I need to renew my request. So it's probably been a while.
Got more sweet peas. And then these are arugula. That's what makes me think that the other stuff over there is arugula.
Yeah.
And then I've got one of my little squashes sprouted.
Yay!
Finally, right there.
Squash are so fun. I'm hoping to have some more to harvest when I get home. All right, guys, thank you so much for walking around with me in my sister's garden. I had fun picking her brain about some gardening stuff and learning a few new things. If you want to be kept in the loop with all my garden adventures, he keeps pulling my face towards it, and experiments, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I upload something new. And if you need a friend to learn how to garden with, I'm your girl. Happy gardening.